March 19th, 8:47 p.m. I was standing in a penthouse bathroom in Seattle. Marble floors. Heated towel rack. A tub that cost $31,000. My husband was in the other room. He didn't know I had just texted another man. The bathroom had a chandelier. A chandelier. In a bathroom. That should have been my first warning that nothing about this life was real. I was 29 years old. Yoga instructor. Made $48,000 a year teaching classes at a studio in Portland. I drove a 2012 Honda Civic with a dent in the passenger door. I lived in a one-bedroom apartment above a Thai restaurant. My landlord's name was Mr. Patel. He charged me $1,100 a month and fixed the hot water once every 3 months. Then I met David. David's father started a regional bank in the 1980s. First Security Bank of Washington. He sold it in 2015 to a larger institution for $410 million. The family net worth after taxes, trusts, and fees was $117 million. I remember the exact number because I saw the trust documents on his desk one night when he was in the shower. I wasn't snooping. I was looking for a pen. We met at a charity gala. I was working the event. Pouring wine. I wore a black vest and a white shirt. My name tag said Chloe. He was a guest. He asked for a Cabernet. I gave it to him. He asked for my number. I gave it to him. I thought he was cute. I didn't know he was rich. He was wearing a blue suit that looked expensive, but I don't know suits. I thought maybe he was a lawyer or a dentist. 6 weeks later, he flew me to Aspen. Private jet. $47,000 round trip. I sat in a leather seat and drank champagne, and thought this is my life now. The jet had a bedroom. I didn't go in. I was still trying to be classy. 3 months after that, he proposed. A ring worth $380,000. Emerald cut. Platinum band. He got down on one knee at a restaurant that had no prices on the menu. I said yes before he finished the sentence. The waiter clapped. The couple at the next table clapped. I didn't look at them. I looked at the ring. The wedding cost $740,000. 180 guests. A castle in Connecticut. Roses flown in from Ecuador. A 6-tier cake. I wore a dress that cost $28,000. I wore it once. It's in a closet in a house I no longer own. Sometimes I think about taking it to a consignment shop. Then I don't. The prenup was 47 pages long. I signed it at 10:14 a.m. in a law office, with windows overlooking a parking garage. My lawyer, a woman named Susan who wore sensible shoes, told me not to sign. She said, "You are giving up any claim to the family wealth." I said, "I don't want the family wealth. I want him." She said, "That's not how this works." I fired her. Hired another lawyer, a man named Brad, who wore a pink tie. He told me the same thing. I fired him too. I signed anyway. Here's what the prenup said. I get $2 million upfront, deposited into an account in my name within 30 days of the wedding. A $500,000 annual allowance, paid monthly. A penthouse in Seattle, fully owned, in my name. A car of my choice, up to $80,000. A credit card with a $50,000 monthly limit. No stake in the family trust. No ownership in any businesses. No alimony if we divorce before 5 years. After 5 years, I get an additional $1.8 million. I didn't care. I was in love. Or I thought I was. The first year was incredible. We traveled.
St. Bart's.
Mykonos.
Dubai.
I bought clothes I never wore. Bags I never carried. Shoes that hurt my feet. I had a personal trainer named Marco who made me do planks until I cried. A nutritionist named Linda who weighed my food. A hairstylist named Pierre who came to the penthouse twice a week. Pierre charged $800 a visit. I tipped him $200. I didn't know what else to do. I stopped teaching yoga. My studio in Portland closed. They replaced me with a 24-year-old named Brittany who had more Instagram followers. I didn't care. I had $500,000 a year. I had a penthouse. I had a husband who bought me anything I pointed at. Then things changed. David started working late. Then later. Then not coming home at all. He said it was deals. Acquisitions. He said he was expanding the family's real estate portfolio. I didn't believe him. The private investigator cost $18,000. I hired a woman named Karen. She had been a cop for 20 years. She sent me photos within a week. The other woman was a real estate agent named Brittany. Same name as the yoga instructor who replaced me. I remember that detail because it felt like the universe was laughing at me. Brittany was 27.
Blonde. Thin.
She had a tan in February. She sold luxury condos. She posted pictures of herself holding keys and smiling. Karen sent me 47 photos. David and Brittany at a restaurant. David and Brittany at a hotel. David and Brittany in his car. I looked at every single one. I sat on my $18,000 couch and scrolled through them on my phone.
I didn't cry.
I just felt cold. I confronted him. He denied it. I showed him the photos. He said, "What do you want me to say?" I said the truth. He said, "I'm not happy." That was the first honest thing he'd said in months. I asked about Brittany. He said, "She understands me." I said, "Understands what?" He didn't answer. I filed for divorce 2 weeks later. My lawyer this time was a woman named Jennifer. She charged $1,200 an hour. She had an office on the 42nd floor with a view of the Sound. She told me the prenup was ironclad. She said, "You will get exactly what it says. Nothing more." I said, "I know." I burned through $340,000 in legal fees in 6 months. Jennifer billed me for everything. Phone calls, emails, a 15-minute conversation about a typo in a document. I paid it all. David's lawyers were worse. He had 3 of them. A team. They billed in 6-minute increments. 6 minutes to read an email. 6 minutes to respond. 6 minutes to forward to another lawyer. The divorce took 14 months. We had depositions, mediation, court appearances. I sat in a room with David and his lawyers and my lawyer. David wouldn't look at me. He stared at a spot on the wall behind my head. I stared at his hands. He wasn't wearing his wedding ring. He had taken it off months before. In the end, the judge enforced the prenup. I got the penthouse. I got the car. I got the $1.8 million settlement because we had been married 4 years and 11 months, just shy of the 5-year mark, but David's lawyers agreed to the $1.8 million to avoid trial. I did not get the $500,000 annual allowance. I did not get the credit card. I did not get any of the trust money. After lawyer fees, my fees, not his, I had $1.2 million left from the $2 million upfront and the settlement. I sold the penthouse. It took 8 months. The market was slow. I listed it for $2.8 million. Got an offer for $2.4 million. I took it. After realtor fees, capital gains, and transfer taxes, I walked with $1.9 million. Total cash, $3.1 million. I moved to a small rental in Tacoma. $2,200 a month. 2 bedrooms. A tiny patio. No marble. No heated towel rack. No view. The walls were beige. The carpet was gray. The kitchen had laminate countertops. I cried the first night, not because it was ugly, because it was mine. I didn't have to pretend anymore. I tried to restart my yoga business. I rented a small studio space. $1,800 a month. I bought mats,
Blocks.
straps. I printed flyers. I posted on Instagram. I offered a free first class.
6 people came.
3 of them were friends who felt sorry for me. The other 3 were confused and left early. Then, my name was in the papers. David's family leaked the story to a Seattle gossip blog. The headline, "Yoga Instructor's Affair Costs Her $117 million. Never mind that David had the affair. Never mind that he was the one who cheated. The blog didn't care. They printed my photo, my real name, my age, my old studio,
My apartment building.
I lost clients. The studio space became a liability. I closed it after 4 months. Lost $7,200 on the rent. Sold the mats on Facebook Marketplace for $200. Friends stopped calling. The ones who stuck around?
2.
My college roommate, Jenna, who lived in Boise, and my mom. That's it. Everyone else disappeared. I don't blame them. I was exhausting. I talked about the divorce constantly. I replayed conversations. I analyzed every text message. I was a ghost at a party. I spent $400,000 on therapy. Not a joke. 2 years. For sessions a week. $500 per session. Her name was Dr. Evelyn. She had gray hair and a calm voice. She asked me questions I didn't want to answer. She made me sit with my feelings. I hated her for 6 months. Then I loved her. I still see her once a month. I see my kids every other weekend. 2 girls, ages 4 and 6. Their names are Sophia and Emma. Sophia is the oldest. She has David's eyes. Emma has my stubbornness. They don't know about the affair. They don't know about the money. They just know Mommy lives in a smaller house now. They ask why. I say because Mommy wanted a garden. That's not a lie. I do have a garden. I drive a 2019 Subaru Outback. It's green. I bought it used for $28,000. It has a dent in the passenger door, just like the Civic. Some things don't change. I teach yoga at a community center in Tacoma. $35 a class. 3 classes a week. My students are retired teachers, stay-at-home moms, and a man named Frank who has back problems. Frank always shows up 10 minutes early. He calls me Chloe and asks about my garden. I tell him about the tomatoes. He nods. I have $2.4 million in index funds. Vanguard. Low fees. I live on $80,000 a year. That's $6,600 a month. Rent, food, therapy, yoga mats, gas, car insurance, health insurance, phone bill, internet, Netflix, and a small fund for the kids' birthday presents. I am not rich. Not anymore. But I am not poor either. I am something else. I am honest. The garden is my favorite thing. I grow tomatoes, basil, and strawberries. The strawberries are small and sour. I eat them anyway. I sit on my patio at 7 a.m. with a cup of coffee. The coffee is from a $30 drip machine. Not an espresso maker. Not a barista. Just coffee. I think about the penthouse sometimes. The marble floors. The heated towel rack. The chandelier in the bathroom. I don't miss it. I miss who I was before I saw it. The girl who taught yoga in Portland. The girl who drove a Civic with a dent. The girl who didn't know what a $31,000 bathtub felt like. That girl was happy. She didn't know it. She thought she needed more. She was wrong. The money was never mine. I knew that when I signed the prenup. I just didn't care. I thought love was enough. It wasn't. I thought the lifestyle would protect me. It didn't. Now I have something better. I have peace. I have my girls. I have a small apartment with a garden. I have tomatoes that taste like nothing and everything. I have Frank, who shows up early and asks about my day. I am 36 years old. I am not rich. I am not famous. I am not married to a millionaire. I am free. And that is worth more than $117 million.